This is something that almost every single person can relate to. How many fucking times do you get thrown on a shitty team that can't win a game? How many times are you the person that gets stuck on a team of 5 assholes who probably have their gun turned around backwards and end up fucking themselves over most of the time? Well, this new series is going to show all those times that shit happens to me. I'm going to highlight the glorious ways the matchmaking system likes to fuck me over by putting me on shitty teams. So the video in the background, although it's pretty old by now since I've obviously prestiged a few times, is the start of when I got stuck on all the bad teams in the game. But we're going to get into that in a minute, because the best part is that you guys are going to decide the name of the new series. That's right, we have another vote up in this motherfucker, but this time, it's a much simpler process. Over at Prestige Gamers, I have a vote going as to what the name of this series should be. There are 5 choices that I would consider naming the series, and the winning vote is going to be the one selected as the name for this series. The choices for you guys will be My Team Sucks Ass, which will go over real well with the YouTube censors and filters. A Little Help, motherfuckers. Another Disney-approved title up in this bitch. Raging with Randoms, Worthless Teammates, and Stuck with Scrubs. All you have to do is visit the link in description and cast your vote on the name. Before the next episode, I'll change the title of this video to the winning choice, and all future videos will fall under this title, and I'm going to be making a new playlist for you guys so you guys will be able to check out all the videos in the series of what you guys decide will be the name of this motherfucker. So, feel free to go vote for the name for this sumbitch, and once I have a winning submission, I'll have a newly named series for you guys. Now, let me explain a few things about this series so people understand what they're going to be seeing in future videos. In every gameplay you will watch, I'm going to be on a losing team in which I finish first in score. In some cases, the games are going to be total blowouts where I get stuck with a useless bunch of assholes. You all know the type, all going negative by 10 kills or some shit, all doing everything to make sure the other team wins. I might have a shitty score myself. I might barely be positive by like 13 and 10 or 16 and 14. And shit, I even have one where I'm actually negative in first place. I might also have a damn good game where my teammates are just fucking useless. In other games, it might be a close game where I literally carried my team to the point that without me, it would have been a total blowout. We might lose games by 4 or 5 kills, but I end up with like 25, 30, 35 kills where nobody else on my team gets 10. What all of these gameplays will have in common is that I did my part to attempt to win, only for my teammates to be that bad random that cost me the fucking game. What I won't be showing are competitive games where we barely lose because the other team just had a better game. You know, you're not going to see games where we lose by a point or two, where everyone in the room had roughly the same score. No. To me, that's a good game. That's a fair game. I don't mind losing to another team that wins in a competitive and equal match, because you're bound to win some and you're bound to lose some. This game in the background happens to be on the borderline of a competitive game. You know, I happen to finish with a decent score. Nothing to call your mama home and tell her about or shit like that, but I get my kills in this game, and in the end, it's going to be a relatively close score, and for the most part, the people in this room are going to have about the same score. The problem is that every single fucking person on my team finishes in the negative. Every single one of them. Not a single motherfucker can manage to stay positive on my team. I mean, if just one of the guys in the bottom of the scoreboard just manages to go even, we win this game. But nope, everyone's going to go negative, and I'm going to be the only person positive by 10 kills. So now, imagine how this game would have gone without me. This team would have been slaughtered had I not managed to get 10 more kills than deaths up in this motherfucker. So the focus of the series will be on those really bad teams that were determined to lose the game for us. Now, I know people are going to say, well, why don't you play with full parties to avoid this? Well, if I did, I wouldn't have any content now, would I? Exactly. So obviously, playing solo is the main way I'll be able to get footage like this. And even so, I haven't really partied too much in Ghost up in this motherfucker. I think there are a variety of reasons for that. First of all, we have the console generations change. You know, some people are on old generations, some already moved up to the next generation, and that pretty much splits up who I'm able to play with. I can't play with those who've already upgraded to the next gen consoles. So there goes a good portion of my list of people that I would normally play with. Another big reason is that people are just burned out on this series and they don't want to play this motherfucker. You know, I remember years ago during Modern Warfare 2, I could turn on my console and I would see 90% of my list playing this game. Now, 90% of my list is playing something else. And I would say that a good portion of people who don't like Ghosts are people who are just tired of the series in general and tired of playing a game with a new coat of paint on it every single year. And I'm not one to play in a party of just 2 or 3 people, mainly because a party that small is bound to still get a group of idiot teammates that we still need to carry. I prefer full parties, preferably with people that I know and people that I gamed with before in Call of Duty who know the style that I play with. I know their style, how they play. That way, we can at least complement each other. When you play with brand new people, I'm talking 6 new people you've never fucking played with before, you have no team synergy. You don't know how they play. You don't know how their actions are. You don't know where they move around the maps. You don't know if they know your call-outs or where you're going to be heading. So usually when it comes to parties, I always party with people that I already know. And if we have some room, then we invite some new people in and they get to learn our style. But 6 brand new people? Oh man, that's just asking for an ass whooping. But in any event, playing solo is the best way to get footage from morons like this. Now, I want to make a few things clear about bad players. First of all, not everyone is going to play the game at the same skill level. We know that. There are people that are much better than me at this game, and there are people who are absolutely clueless at this game. I can be in a team with someone getting 80 kills in a game, and then with someone going 1 in 20. And that's just the beauty of online gaming. Varying skill level is determined by a number of things. Someone could be brand new to the game, another person could be letting a friend play on their account, others could be working on a challenge and having to play the game a certain way to complete the challenge, like these idiots running around with that combat knife trying to complete those 30 fucking kills or whatever that shit. Oh man, you motherfuckers need to stop that shit, man. Go play some fucking Infected or some stupid shit like that, man. I ain't gonna get into that bullshit. Or in some cases, you actually get someone who can hold their own and they just have a bad day. Instead of putting up the usual scores, they go negative in a game, or they go even in a game, or they just end up against a team that likes to camp and they end up getting shot from fucking corners or some shit like that. There are varying reasons why different people have different scores in every single game. Hey, look, if I was the greatest player in every game, I would have a 7 kill death ratio every single game, but I don't. Some games I'll go with a 2 kill death ratio, some games I'll have a 5, some games I'll have a 10 kill death ratio, or in other games I'll play against a really good team and I'll go negative. You just can't control what the varying skill level is going to be each and every game. You can't go 20 and 5 every single game. It's just not possible. So naturally, when people do have a bad game, I'm going to show it. When I have those scrubs on my team, when I have those morons that don't know their foot from their ass, yes, I'm going to have plenty of footage. But for those competitive games that I mentioned before where it was a close game, we just happened to get beat at the end, no, not going to be showing that. I'm going to be showing the various games where my bad teams cost me the fucking game, even though I tried to do my part to win this motherfucker. Now, another thing people are going to notice, particularly those who've been around my channel since the beginning, that this series is very similar to one of my first series I did back on my Modern Warfare 2 videos, Capture the Fucking Flag. In those videos, I played a number of domination games where my teams made no efforts to capture flags. All they wanted to do was sit in a corner with their thumb up their ass and watch me attempt to get every single flag to try and win this game single-handedly. Needless to say, 6 against 1 doesn't go very well. But since I decided to go back to my old-fashioned commentaries on videos, I might as well bring back something from the good old days as well. You know, before Google fucked everybody in the ass, bought YouTube, and turned the shit into a money pit whore of a website in this motherfucker. So, you guys are going to get all the old school ideas that I first started my channel with. They're all going to come back in new and funnier forms. This series alone, I know I have over 20 videos already, and that number is going to continue to grow as long as I keep marching on towards 10 prestige up in this bitch. So this series is going to have a shitload of content and a shitload of anger when you see how bad some of these teams really are. I mean, there are some teams, man, oh my goodness, I can't begin to describe what the fuck they were doing. I mean, I don't even know if they were like shooting each other or whatever the fuck. But there are going to be some teams later in the series where you're going to see the teams were absolutely atrocious. They need to go back to playing Little Big Planet or Super Mario, whatever the fuck it is they were playing before this, because obviously these guys were playing Call of Duty for the first time in their lives or something. Anyways, there's the end of the game, and like I said, I went 18 and 8 while my entire team went negative. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And don't forget, go visit the link in the description and vote for the name for this upcoming series.